Remember when this story was dead as we gathered in Indianapolis for the CFP championship? It may not be dead any longer. Let's find out exactly what it means and what has brought these group of people to the table. Could mean a lot of things. I want to defer to Ross in a minute, but so much movement in college athletics. Remember those three commissioners, the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 who were against it? Well, only one of those three really is looking very strong today, and that's the Big Ten. The other two are hurting badly, a lot of money at stake. Could that be the reason? Money may be the main reason, but let's find out from Ross what exactly is going on. Ross, quite a story that you broke yesterday. Good afternoon. Tell us how before we get to what could happen tomorrow, how did we get to this point?
Probably out of frustration from the president. You'll remember, Paul, that 3 years ago, the president's led by the SEC's own Mark Keenum, Mississippi State president. He chairs the presidential board of the CFP, and he kind of told the commissioners, the presidents did, hey, come up with expansion and agree on it. And over the last year, as you know, and a lot of people have probably read, they couldn't do it. They couldn't come to unanimous decision on a playoff expansion format. And I think the presidents now are taking matters kind of into their own hands. They've decided to do it themselves. So they've been talking quite a bit over the last few months about proposals and expansion formats. And I think we're getting to a moment tomorrow where they may actually pull the trigger here and vote themselves and determine an expansion model, and then they'll send it to the commissioners to kind of work out the details, and then the CFP staff as well as the commissioners will have to figure out if it is an 11-0 vote, tomorrow. Can they actually do it before the contract ends in 2024 or 2025? The deadline for that would seem to have passed, but maybe they can make anything work here.
So, Ross, let's get to tomorrow. What are you hearing? And basically what I'm reading from your reports is it sounds pretty positive. But so take us through today into tomorrow and what's likely or liable to happen.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of optimism in tomorrow, which some people say is kind of a scary thought, maybe too optimistic. But there is a lot of optimism that the president not only will vote on an expanded playoff, but will vote 11-0. And as you mentioned earlier, the three commissioners of the old alliance, I think now with the Big Ten's acquisition of USC and UCLA, I think you can say the alliance is dead, but the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 commissioners who were against the proposal back when they voted in February now seem to be on board, or at least their presidents are. So there is some optimism that it'll be 11-0, which means the playoff could expand before the ESPN contract ends, which it runs through the 2025 season. They just have to figure out logistically if that's feasible. But there's a lot of optimism that it'll be 11-0, and that we'll have probably a 12-team playoff, either starting in 2026 or 2024 or maybe 2025. So that's the big determining factors. Probably more so not will it happen, but when will it start?
And Ross, these people have the if they are unanimous can order that, but the Power Five commissioners, the same group that shut it down, would they be in charge? Would they have any jurisdiction here, or I guess my question is, how do we determine when it is and exactly what it looks like, especially from a television standpoint?
Yeah, well, I think with the presidents, the vote the presidents are taking is to expand the playoff, and I believe it would entail the number of teams, which is believed to be the 12-team format that was proposed last year by the subcommittee, the CFP subcommittee of commissioners. And so I from there, it'll go to the commissioners to work out all the details, which there's a lot of unresolved issues. I mean, they've been talking about this for a year, so they're close on a lot of things. But, the bowl situation, especially with the Rose Bowl, how how it plays into an expanded playoff, how the bowls play into an expanded playoff, the revenue distribution, the scheduling of actual dates and games and rounds. All of that will be handled by commissioners. I think it's probably more so up to the CFP staff and Bill Hancock, as well as the commissioners, on deciding when, how quickly they can do this, how quickly they can start an expansion. Paul, they gave the commissioners January, this past January as a date to try to vote, and get this thing passed. That was the deadline, January, in order to have it start in 2024. And so we're 9 months past that. And so logistically, it could be difficult to start in 24, but I would imagine if the vote tomorrow is 11-0, that they will try.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.